Good morning and welcome to Oakfield, where T-Birds are playing Richmond at home on the 4G pitch because the first team pitch is frozen. I'll give you the teams are just coming out. I'll just give you a quick rundown of the players and then I'll pass you over to Gabby, who's going to be commentating today. For Thurrock T-Birds we have Lauren Paul, Cherie Cooper, Megan Harris, Annalise Kosterg, Jess Grace, Kaylee McHugh, Amy Patel at 7, Maddie Lookwood 8, Jade Wong 9, Ella Barnes 10, Jess Pettifor 11, Emma West 12, Izzy Lush 13, and Captain Hannah Thornhill at 14, Abby Jones at 15. On the bench we've got Rosie Bennett, Claire Phelps, Elsie Burns, Sophia Carrillo, Iona McCusker, Kira Ryan and Devon Johnson. For Richmond we have, apologies if I get any of these names wrong, Zainab Alima, Rebecca Kemble, Kira Leet, Tyler Shirley, Sian Hobday, Caitlin Keefe, Kieran Berry, Gabby Spencer, who's the captain at 8, 9 Jordan Hale, 10 Emma Mundy, 11 Angela Ndazzo, 12 B Leonard, 13 Vicky Jackson, 14 Izzy Weist, 15 Courtney Treco, and on the bench Richmond have Becky de Gaston Webb, Carrie Graham, Imogen Duffy, Eleanor Hunt Payne, Sophie Messam, Hannah Kent and Jay Badland Shaw. Coaches for Thurrock T-Birds are head coach Andy Yarrow and Gary Bettis, director of rugby Dean White, and the physio is Gemma Pemberton. Coaches for Richmond coach for Richmond is Ross Dennehan, and the referee today is Preston Gordon. So the teams are just having a quick huddle and then they'll be coming on in a moment. I'll pass you over to Gabby now.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Thurrock Oakfield.
Well, it is afternoon. I said good morning.
Oh, it is afternoon, yes. About an hour over. But yes, I believe you've already been told all the team sheets. So, welcome to today's kickoff. Unfortunately, we did have to move the kickoff time to a lot earlier than initially meant to be scheduled, and that is due to the pitch being needed for a football game at 2 o'clock. So we got sort of moved up, and I think the under 15s and the under
What sort of game is that?
Ha ha ha. The under 15s and under 16s games unfortunately did get cancelled. I think you can see over the far side of the pitch is still frost. Good. You need to record. But yes, the first team pitch up to, well, the entire dead ball zone, it is still frozen. So hence why we are over here. So it will be Thurrock to kick off. Just calling for a touch judge for Thurrock. So this will be number 10, Ella Barnes, kicking off for Thurrock. Just had that conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Is that Lucy? Oh yeah, I thought it was Sophie. Sophia.
Go team!
Lovely kick downfield from Thurrock. Straight to the hands of Richmond. Lovely catch. I'm sure their fingers are probably already frozen. Ball gets kicked back downfield to Abby Jones, number 15 for today, who passes it back to Ella Barnes. Lovely tackle from Richmond. I believe that was number 8. I think that was Captain Gabby Spencer. It seems that Richmond haven't taken my good advice to say put different coloured numbers on the backs of their shirts because they are very hard to see. So I do apologise if you don't get the credit you deserve today.
Your sunglasses.
I don't have sunglasses, that's the problem. Can't see a thing. So the ball was kicked, still remains in touch, goes to the hands of Jess Pettifor this time, who's almost brought to ground but not quite, but this time it's a combination of B Leonard and couldn't see who that was. I think that's number 6, Caitlin Keefe. Ball gets passed out to Kaylee McHugh. Lovely run into contact, brought down by I think that's number 7, Kieran Berry, and potentially number 1, Zainab Alama. Sorry, can't see with this sun. Trying. Okay, I now have sunglasses, so let's see if this helps my sight. Lovely kick from Ella Barnes once again. Downfield, just about finds touch around the halfway line. However, the referee brings it back.
Keep putting a message in. Keep putting that message in.
I think this might be quite the kicking game today. Apologies if you hear the rustling, that is my team sheet. Another kick downfield. I think that is, yep, that is just in the school car park, so that is yet another ball we have lost.
Gates were open yesterday, Gabby, so hopefully they're open again today.
With any luck, they should be. Oh yes, I can see on the far side over there. Personally, again, my top tip recommendation would be to put higher nets on, well, all around this pitch really, other than the spectators' box.
Just need some of the young lads to go ball fetching for us.
We do seem to have a number of supporters that have now infiltrated the pitch. First line out of the game. Personally, don't think that was quite straight, but Richmond have ended up with it either way. It's a lovely run through. I think that is once again Zainab English Alma. Ball's gone to ground. Richmond gather it up. I believe that was Gabby. But the referee has seen the knock on and called it back for the previous infringement. So this will be the first scrum of the game. It will be interesting to see the power dynamic between the two. The last time Thurrock faced off against Richmond away, Richmond did have quite the strong pack in the front, well, in the forwards. But seems Thurrock have brought their A game today. Scrum doesn't move, looks like it's collapsed in the middle. Ball gets thrown very far out. Lovely little dummy from Richmond. Ball gets passed back to fellow player. Richmond commit quite a large number of forwards to that ruck. Lovely tackle from a combination of, I think that was Amy Battle and Kaylee McHugh. Lovely stopped. Oh my gosh, I can't speak today. Lovely tackle from Hannah Thornhill. We'll get that out there. The referee has seen that Richmond are crossing. Jade Wong takes the ball from Richmond. Passes it to Ella Barnes, ready for another kick to gain a few more metres. And a lovely kick it is, and a good few more than a couple of metres. So this puts Thurrock into the Richmond half. It's taken quite some time to set up this line out. Lovely throw up of Amy Battle. Beautiful pass. Fortunately, that does just go over the shoulder of Maddie Lockwood, so Richmond end up turning over the ball. Excellent tackle from Jess Pettifor. Very quick to bounce back up again. Gabby Spencer runs back into the fray. Lovely ship out of the ball from Richmond. Thurrock bring them to ground quite quickly. Looks like Thurrock have hands on the ball, although the referee doesn't see it. Another kick from Richmond. I don't think it quite gets a height that it was expected to, and it does go into touch just into the Thurrock half.
And then hold on this way so it's like usually puts a glass cut into when the beaver is frozen.
It's another Thurrock line out. Just misses the hands of Amy Battle, and Richmond managed to turn it over. Beautiful tackle from Jade Wong there.
Nice job!
Sorry, I was so focused on the on the tackle, I missed the knock on.
Big hit there.
That was a lovely. I was about to say it was a lovely knock on. That was a lovely tackle from Jade Wong, and I think the shock of it and probably the pressure of the rest of the Thurrock pack has forced the mistake, causing the knock on.
That's what I call a committed tackle, Gabby. No messing about.
I call that a bulldozer, rolling someone over. That was excellent. So yes, it will be a Thurrock scrum for the knock-on by Richmond. Richmond seem to have found their strength from the last game, and that does end up meaning it is a a Richmond ball. It does look like Thurrock knocked it on when they were trying to get the ball out, which is a big shame, but one excellent drive from Richmond. I'm not awake.
Hazards of trying to reach into the scrum and get the ball out, Gab.
Yes, well, when a scrum's going backwards at that speed, it's difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, Gabby, as someone who has a forward. Oh, I can have a forwards perspective. The amount of times I haven't got a clue what they're doing.
Seems like
At least I've got an excuse.
Seems like we have a co-commentator here.
Nah. This time Thurrock dig their heels in. Richmond don't seem to be able to move it, and the referee is given for the offside by Thurrock. So currently Richmond, not Westcliff, Westcliff was a boys' game, are working with the advantage. It's a lovely run from Richmond. We've gained several metres. Richmond seem to be at risk of crossing quite a bit this game. Thurrock have managed to turn over the ball and are awarded the advantage. I believe that was for a knock-on by Richmond. This time Frenchie runs it into contact. The referee has called it back for the earlier infringement by Richmond, which I was correct is a knock-on. Therefore it will be a Thurrock scrum. Looks like Megan Harris is taking a knee. I think she might have had a slight knock to the head in that contact. So the time is off for now.
It's only 10 minutes in. Seems like 8.
And by the sounds of it, Megan Harris will be coming off, so it does look like it was a head injury, unfortunately. So Rosie Bennett will be coming onto the pitch instead in replacement of her.
Looks like Megan's coming off, Gabby.
I said that twice.
Sorry. I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. A bit.
So the time is back on.
Did you say she took a head injury?
I think it was a head injury. Not quite sure. It also looks like she's indicating to her chest, so it could have just been
winded
quite badly. Okay, apparently was ahead. So it's a shame, as we're only about 10 minutes into the game. I'm sure Megan could have made quite the difference, but it looks like Thurrock have lost the ball in the scrum again. So Richmond are quick to get it out to the far side. Lovely handoff from Richmond. Unfortunately, I can't see the number. Looks like they might have had a break. They're still running, they're still going, but that is slippery over on that far side. They get the ball out. Lovely pass, but just to the fingertips of the next Richmond player. The referee has seen an infringement, so Richmond are also working with the advantage. Beautiful tackle once again from Thurrock. I think that was Amy Battle once again. Can't quite see, unfortunately. Richmond go back to the other side. I think they can see a gap. Looks like she's going to stretch for it, but doesn't quite make it the whole way. Probably going to go blind again. Nope, they're going to try and crash it over the line. Can Thurrock hold it up? Has Richmond scored it? Doesn't look like they have just yet. Richmond have dived for it again, but Thurrock have managed to hold it up on the line. So it will be a goal line dropout for Thurrock.
That was tight there, Gabs.
That was very tight. I think that was just quite a powerful runner over on the far side, gained them quite a lot of metres, and then Richmond were just very quick to ship the ball out wide, and luckily for Thurrock, that crash ball just wasn't quite as successful as they'd hoped.
Hannah's taken the knee as well. She took a bit of a knock in training on Wednesday.
Yes, I think her leg might have just been bent the wrong way in that contact. Lovely kick downfield, doesn't quite find touch, but does find the hands of Gabby Spencer, captain. Actually, that potentially wasn't Gabby, I can't quite see who. Beautiful tackle from Thurrock once again. I think that one was Kaylee McHugh. I really can't see a thing from here.
Neither can I. Shooting straight into the sun here.
Oh, that could have been a lovely intercept from Abby Jones there. It was well seen, well thought out. And once again, Thurrock have managed to hold up the ball. An excellent performance. Although Richmond are just knocking on that door and they know they can do it. They're just so close to it, but...
Definitely keeping Thurrock under pressure at the moment, Gabs.
Oh, definitely, but just a few metres too short, or a couple of blades of grass too short, unfortunately, and Thurrock just seemed to be able to get their hands under the ball. But I believe the referee might have actually blown up for a knock-on by Richmond in that contact. So unfortunately for Thurrock, they're not going to be able to kick it away. So hopefully the forwards will manage to hold their ground for this scrum.
Looks like Ella's setting herself up for a kick though, Gabs.
Let's hope this is well, sorry, not meant to be biased. I was about to say let's hope this is a more steady scrum for Thurrock. Richmond are doing very well to try and drive Thurrock back, but they are just acting like a doorstop. But unfortunately, they are successful, and they do score the first try of the game, and that was Gabby Spencer, captain for today, but in the first 5 points on the board. That was a well-deserved try for Richmond. They were just knocking on that door, sort of 3 attempts, one ending up being successful, and no doubt that will spur them on for the game. But Thurrock are just absolutely relentless with their tackles, which is brilliant to see. So no doubt they're going to want to put their own 5 points on the scoreboard very soon.
And more. I'm not biased either.
Of course not.
It's coming out, Gabs, but it's shooting straight into the sun. You can't really see much. I can't on the screen.
So this will be Emma Mundy to kick for Richmond. What's that noise on?
She's only just set up.
Lovely kick from Mundy. She gets the extra 2 points, bringing it up to 7-0 to Richmond. So once again, Ella Barnes to kick off. Keeps it barely over the 10-metre line. A beautiful pick-up from Hannah Thornhill. Just excellently seen. Lovely chase. And that really does show the effect of a good chase. Ball goes to Kaylee McHugh, who just bulldozes over a Richmond player. Jade Wong trying out for the hurdles. Manages to skip over it. That was a very high tackle from Richmond and then not releasing. Referee telling Richmond to keep on side. Jade Wong looks for options, goes right, goes to Rosie Burrell. Bennett, sorry, not Burrell. Sorry, it's an old T-Birds player actually. Goes to Jess Grace, who just, I was going to say boshes them out of the way. I think that shows my age. Ball goes to number 2, Cherie Cooper. Goes back inside to Rosie Burrell, who just barrels over the Richmond players. Oh my gosh, why do I keep doing that? I told you I'm not awake. Very well seen from Ella Barnes to manage to offload. I believe that was Maddie Lockwood in the contact. Ella Barnes passes to Amy Battle. Oh my gosh, I can't do this today. Hannah Thornhill seems to have left her wing. Has brought it out to this side. Jess Pettiford manages to cover off her teammate. Maddie Lockwood runs into contact once again. Sorry, this play is going so quick. Thurrock seem to have absolutely come alive now. This is excellent. They've seen the gap, they've passed it out to Hannah Thornhill, who manages to just about keep in touch. Beautiful offload to Abby. That was a lovely tackle from Gabby Spencer, just over the head of Kaylee McHugh. The ball goes wild and Richmond manages to pick it up. And the referee is saying that Thurrock didn't roll away from the tackle. Although I believe he was pointing out Rosie Bennett, which she, I don't think, made the tackle. Either way, Richmond kicks. I don't think it quite went as far as they were hoping. Hannah looked like she was going to try and pass it back inside to Abby, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. It'll be Rebecca Kemble to throw into the line out. There's a lovely line out going straight to the hands of Tyler Shirley for Richmond. There's a bit of a fumble there with the pass. That was a forward pass, but the referee's not seen it. Ball gets passed out again to, I think that was number 12, B. Leonard. Richmond seemed to be streaking down that far side, although brought short by, I think that was Amy Battle once again with the tackle. Ball goes out again. There's a lovely run from, I think that could be Tyler Shirley again. Can't quite see. I think she had a scrum cap on. Richmond have just gone straight off their feet in the ruck, but the referee doesn't seem too bothered. Looks like Thurrock is saying that there's a head injury. Lovely offload, and there's just no one. There's a 3-man overlap. Jess Grace gets in. Unfortunately, that does look like it's going to be the second. Yes, a second try for Richmond, which is excellent. I think that was once again Amy Battle hoping to just get the ball out of her hands, because of course, even though they're over the try line, if the ball hasn't touched the ground, still make that contact, because they could by all means drop it, knock it on, anything you fancy, but that will be the second try for Richmond. Caught it, nearly dropped the mic.
Nice.
So once again, Emma Mundy to take the kick.
Abby.
Yeah, Abby.
I think that could potentially be Abby Jones. It looks like she's had a knock to the head. Let's hope it's nothing serious. Emma Mundy taking her time with the kick. But it's well thought out, well planned, and that does secure the extra 2 points, bring it up to 14-0 to Richmond.
Abby, back up on her feet, Gabby. Doing the most important thing, making sure her hair looks good.
Just because we're rugby players doesn't mean we can't look nice, thank you very much. Sure the men do it themselves, checking their hair.
I'm sure they do.
Once again, Ella Barnes to kick off. Beautiful kick from Ella. Seen right into the sun for Richmond, but it doesn't seem to deter them at all. Although Hannah Thornhill does successfully just get them into the touchline and hands the ball over to Kaylee McHugh for the line out. Thurrock ready for this line out, do the simple old school. Ball goes a little bit wild, but Ella Barnes manages to clear it back up, gets it out to Maddie Lockwood. Lovely tackle from Gabby Spencer, forgot her surname for a second. Beautiful kick from Ella Barnes, very well seen, but a fantastic gather from number 15 Courtney Treco. Nearly called you Courtney Tesco there, sorry. And Richmond look for the kick. Beautiful kick, but it does look like it's going to Abby Jones. I was correct. A lovely clear up. She runs straight back into the pack, avoids a tackle, but finds the hands of another Richmond player. And the referee has called for a holding on to the ball by Abby Jones. However, it did look like number 6 Caitlin Keefe was part of that tackle, so realistically she should have rolled away, but the referee didn't see that, like he didn't see the forward pass earlier, so hey ho. They look for the kick, and it's a lovely kick downfield. I think that might have actually just hit a spectator.
As long as it's not hit my car that's parked out there.
No, I think we're parked behind the building, so we should be safe, hopefully. Theoretically. So at least we get a lovely view of this line out. This will be a Richmond line out. Lovely line out, just goes a little bit too far. It's cleared up by Ella Barnes, Maddie Lockwood, Abby Jones was that? I think that actually might have been, no, that was number 12 Emma West, or Westy. Yes, that was quite the big contact. Everyone seems to be hugging Gabby Spencer, so I think that was her. But the referee's called it back for the knock-on by Richmond, so it will be a Thurrock scrum. And must give recognition to the Richmond team, being as they are staring straight into the sun this half, which is quite the inconvenience. Especially with these kicks that seem to be happening quite a lot today. Richmond do seem to be pushing early and driving straight up. That's quite dangerous from Richmond.
Number 10.
It does look like Jess Grace has had a knock there, and I think someone else as well. I think that could be Cherie Cooper and also Frenchie. I would hope the referee would see that was quite the dangerous scrum, but I don't think he's going to say anything about it, unfortunately.
28 minutes in, Gabs, and it's a tough game. 14-0 down, and Richmond are just relentless, keeping the pressure on. Thurrock resisting well, but it's going to be a tough game.
I think both sides sort of turned up today knowing that this was going to be a tough game. I do think, without of course trying to be biased, the referee has missed a number of things, and that scrum was, even from a back's perspective, was just unsafe.
I was talking to John earlier in the week, Gabs, and he was telling me that they expect to, I believe the figure was, see 80%, which to me is quite a low number. I would have said 95 plus, but they're quite happy with seeing 80% of the infringements. That's an RFU figure, I believe.
Well, unfortunately, you can't quite see everything. When you've got 30 people on the pitch, you've also got the spectators, the coaches, and everyone yelling as well. It is quite an overstimulating task to do. We'll be resetting for this scrum. Does look like the Thurrock players have managed to get themselves up and running once again.
So it literally just bent our front row back on themselves, so it's not the second row's next.
Richmond seem to be driving a lot straighter this scrum. But the ball is out, Jade Wong gets her hands to it. Ball passes out to Izzy Lush, who takes it straight into contact, absolutely driving through the Richmond players. It's excellent. Ball goes to Maddie Lockwood. Ball gets out to the far side again. Ella Barnes with a stunning kick downfield, but it does find the hands of Richmond, who are going to kick back once again. And then it becomes a game of rugby tennis. That's a very well taken ball from Ella Barnes, who then takes her time kicking back, allowing some more of her team to get back on side. And Richmond have decided to run it into contact this time, but it was very well chased down by Amy Battle. Stop saying Battle, you throw me off. Amy just locked onto that target there and just wasn't going to let that one sneak through. Bit of a netball pass from Gabby Spencer, but it found its target nevertheless. They look like they're trying to get it back down the far side, but Thurrock are remaining resilient with their very straight defensive line. Beautiful offload. I think Richmond are doing well with these offloads today. A lovely pass out, a lovely kick through. They've seen that there's an open spot. Jess Pettifor's hands just miss it, but there seems to be a bit of a fumble. But Jess has got her hands to it. And Jess Pettifor comes out victorious. Number 2, Richmond is offside, but the referee's not given any sort of advantage once again, and they've just come in at the side from the ruck. The number of infringements I'm seeing here is ridiculous.
And he's given them advantage. No, they haven't. We have the ball. No, he was having his own
They get the ball once again to Ella Barnes. She kicks it downfield, and I think Richmond didn't quite see the ball was coming to her there. But Richmond have played it quick, forced a knock on.
Lovely Frenchie!
And this will be a Thurrock scrum. I think so far this has been quite an even balance between forwards and backs today, which is always good to see. It's been a very big kicking game. Got two strong kickers on either side of the pitch today. And another strong scrum from Richmond. And although Jade goes digging for the ball, it seems to have come out the other side. But I think that was once again Amy Battle. Was very quick to dive onto that ball, manages to keep possession of it. I think that is Westy just absolutely streaking through the middle of the pitch, in the middle of all of the Richmond players, and gains a good few metres towards the halfway line. Ball gets to Abby Jones, I believe that is, passes out to Maddie Lockwood once again. Thurrock are very quick to these rucks today. Ball just misses the hands of Amy Battle, but cleared up by Ella Barnes, grabbed by Jess Grace. Ball goes to Ella Barnes, kicks once again downfield. Richmond just casually taking that ball. That was excellent. Nice little goose step. Once again, Amy Battle wasn't letting that one through. Jade Wong not letting the next one through. That was a forward pass and the ref has seen that one. Excellent. That was very unfortunate for number 5, Sian Hobday. She was looking for that offload and her teammates unfortunately just were not in the right place for it. Setting up once again for a Thurrock scrum. And once again, that is a collapsed scrum, and it is a Thurrock ball. Nice to see a bit of sportsmanship from Richmond, checking on the Thurrock player. It's always nice to see. And that is time off for now. It does look like it's another head injury. So the referee does appear to be speaking to the Richmond 3, I believe that is. I think that's Kira Leet. Or is that the 9? No, I think it's a 3. These colours are just awful for trying to see the numbers.
Yellow, black and red. I'm not sure any colour would be good, Gebs. I think they should have a white patch.
No, I think a black outline would be better on the numbers.
So who's it's gone down?
I believe that's Lauren Paul that's gone down.
Oh yes, it is.
Bless her, she's still recovering from quite a bad illness recently. And then on top of that, she had an allergic reaction to the antibiotics she was on. So
really?
So she has had quite a nightmare of a few weeks, bless her. But it's excellent to see that she's back up and running and ready to play on the pitch so soon.
So casual. So Lauren's up on her knees.
Looks like she's getting up. She seems to just be shaking it off and getting on with it. So the time is back on. She's staying on the field, which is excellent. Could have potentially been a neck.
Once again, just check her hair.
There is nothing more annoying than having your hair falling out in a game.
Mine falls out all the time, Gebs.
That's to do with age.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. But I think it's usual that you have a few team platters on each team, but we don't seem to have them here. So once again we're resetting for the Thurrock scrum. Hopefully this one should be a little bit more stable. And, this time Thurrock are very quick to get the ball out. I think the talk that the referee had with Richmond was successful. Lovely offload from Westy. Just misses the hands of Izzy Lush, but Hannah Thornhill picks it up instead. Jumping and diving and weaving around people. Lovely offload to her partner, Amy Battle. It's a very cute little relationship goal there. This time Rosie Bennett. I got it that time, thank you. Jade Wong gets it out to Ella Barnes. That sounds a bit rude now that I've heard myself say that. But this time has found a lovely expanse of space. Abby Jones just shocks her, taking the tackle from behind her. Richmond panics and kicks it off the pitch, but unfortunately for them doesn't seem to gain quite the distance that they were hoping. So Thurrock are no doubt quite ecstatic about this.
I think they found the outside of her boot there, Gabs. Just went right over to the right.
I think usually when you sort of see the quick little steps in those kicks, it is usually a panic kick, which is unfortunate. But Kaylee McHugh asking for numbers for the line out. I think the football game have all arrived quite early. A bit confused why they're not training yet. Ball goes straight to the hands of Frenchie. Thurrock set up immediately for the maul, which seems to be quite successful, though Richmond are attempting to turn it. Bit of confusion where the ball is. I think Thurrock are just as confused as Richmond. The referee is saying that Richmond didn't release. They look a little confused by that as well. Ella Barnes going for the kick. Lovely kick once again. This time inching ever closer to the Richmond try line. Richmond seem to think they know what Thurrock's going to be doing here, and setting up ready for the maul. Ball goes to Frenchie, but it is dropped in the contact, and the sideline judge has said that it was a knock-on. It's very unfortunate for Thurrock. This is a critical point in the game for, well, both teams here. Thurrock looking for their first try of the game, Richmond hoping to avoid that outcome.
And we're about 40 minutes elapsed time in, Gabs.
Making for a very interesting game today, but Gabby Spencer gets a ball, ducking and diving, but doesn't quite get as far as I think she'd hoped. They look for the kick, Jess Grace chases it down, and the ball once again I don't think quite went as far as they were hoping. So Richmond do remain in their own half for now. Once again, a Thurrock line out. They do a dummy. Amy Battle goes up instead, but ends up going to Frenchie and back to Cherie Cooper. And unfortunately, just gets taken into touch by Richmond. So this time it will be a Richmond line out. I think even Richmond were confused by their call then. So they still go to the first player. They ship it out wide. Lovely hands from Richmond, but I don't think they quite made it as far as they were hoping to. Beautiful work on the far side from Richmond with those passes. So brought short once again by Thurrock, and Thurrock have won the penalty for Richmond holding on to the ball in the tackle. Ella Barnes once again looking for the kick. A stunning kick from Ella Barnes. I think Richmond fancy themselves a touchline judge as well. We are currently nearly at 43 minutes on the clock. Of course, we do have a bit of stoppage time for the numerous injuries that have been had already this game. Frenchy gets the ball. So I don't think this is quite the last play of the half, but very near so.
Can't be far from it, Gabs, although there has been quite a bit of stoppage time.
The referee has allowed for the advantage for Richmond trying to drag the maul down. Thurrock driving ever closer. The referee is just looking to see if that ball hits the ground. The entire maul collapses. The referee is looking. Not quite sure where it's gone, not sure what he's doing. He's pulled it back for the original infringement. Richmond look very keen to get off that line, but a little bit too keen. Maddie Lockwood takes it in, just short of the line.
Another advantage.
Another advantage given to Thurrock. Not quite sure what for. However, I don't think Thurrock are too bothered.
Card coming out.
Looks like it could be a card. And that is a yellow card. I'm not quite sure what that was for. Richmond are very keen to get off that line. Jade Wong has the ball. And, apparently, according to the referee, Richmond are on a warning, and if there is another infringement, not too sure what one yet, then it will be another yellow card. The referee is clearly unhappy with something that Richmond are doing. I actually think that's taken quite a turn, actually. Ball is shipped out to Amy Battle. She runs straight into the contact but finds the brick wall of Richmond. Ball is shipped out to Westy, shipped out to Izzy Lush. Chips out very nicely to Hannah Thornhill, who's just about to get the offload to Abby Jones, and that was a high tackle once again. Jade Wong passes it out to Shree Cooper. Pass it out to Rosie once again. Goes back inside to Shree Cooper, passes it to Jess Pettifor, who drives through the middle of Richmond, and Richmond aren't rolling away. So referee has awarded another advantage to Thurrock for not rolling away. Richmond makes a bad call there, attempting to take it, well, sorry, can't get my words out once again, attempting to drive through the middle of the ruck. But the referee pings it. This time it goes to Jess Grace, who barrels through the middle of them. That was a bit of a shriek, I think, from Richmond. Not sure if the mic picked that up. Thurrock have just absolutely come alive with energy at the moment. The backs of Thurrock are just calling for this, but Jess Pettifor's seeing a gap on the far side, on the near side, sorry. Ella Barnes passes it out to Jess Pettifor, just stays in. And we've got an advantage once again. I think Richmond are just throwing away these advantages once again for another high tackle. Is this going to be another yellow card?
Yes, reaching for his pocket, Gabs.
He's going for his pocket. The referee's not happy. Yes, it is. It is a second yellow card. This time for Izzy Waste.
Richmond are under pressure now, Gabs, and yeah, it's showing. There's 2 players off in the space of about 10 minutes.
So Richmond are now down to 13 against 15. The referee has sent both teams off for a chat with their, well, the captain's off for a chat with their teams, while Rosie is down with an injury.
The elapsed time is showing 47 minutes now, Gabs, or just over, so can't be much left. We need to get this try before half time.
Well, this is quite optimum for Thurrock. They've got 2 players less on the opposing side. They're right on their try line, and there's barely any time left of this half, so hopefully they can drive it over. Thurrock look like they're setting up for an absolute tanker of a maul. Referee still has time off. It looks like he's writing in his book who he has booked.
Either that or he's writing to his mum.
This time, this is actually a dummy. It goes to Jess Grace instead. But Richmond have managed to turn over the ball. But Thurrock attempt to turn it back over again, and Richmond have knocked it on. But unfortunately, the referee does call that half. So the score does for now remain at 14-0. But that does mean Richmond are still going to start the next half with only 13 players on the field. Went to say pitch and field at the same time, nearly came up with Fitch. But what an interesting first half to the game. It's absolutely excellent from both teams. Well, other than the knock-ons by, well, knock-ons, high tackles, knock-ons, yellow cards. But hopefully the next half will be a little bit less, well, less of yellow cards. But of course, as per usual, we've got our shout outs. So once again, the Thornhills of Kath, Keith, Alan and Mary. So hello to all of you. We've got Mark's Grace and Sarah Jane's Grace, of course, as well. And then we've also got a number of them for Kaylee. So we've got Greg in America, Ross in South Africa, her auntie Sam and her auntie Minion and grandparents all in South Africa as well. So hello to all of you.
One of her aunties in Canada, isn't she?
Yes, I think that's Auntie Sam is in Canada. But of course, if you ever do want to shout out on the live stream, just contact your fellow T-Bird and ask them to send us a message, and we'll get you on here. But quite the half. It's a very interesting from both teams. I think Thurrock have definitely brought their A game compared to the last game against Richmond.
Tough game though, Gabs, very tough game. It's a shame that the whistle was blown when it was, and that we were well into like 47 minutes, so there was plenty of stoppage time. But Thurrock were just getting their act together, and they were just about to pounce. It's a shame they didn't get the points that they so well deserved.
No doubt they're quite frustrated, Beans, as they will be now facing directly into the sun, although there does seem to be a number of clouds coming over now, which could be a saving grace for Thurrock. But I think Richmond are quite surprised by the game so far, but that hasn't deterred them whatsoever, as the points on the board show.
The pressure there did seem to be getting to them, though. 2 players sent off within 5-10 minutes of each other towards the end there. There's not panic setting in, but they're definitely under pressure. Just hope that Thurrock come out and with the fighting fitness they did towards the end there, and come out and make some definite tries early on.
I agree. I think Richmond are probably quite happy for this break to take their time to reset, reevaluate and stop the panic kicks, passes and yellow cards.
even though they're 2 tries up, I'm sure there's going to be some stern words in that circle today.
Yes, I think no one can quite know what Thurrock are going to do, especially in these situations, as they do tend to come out fighting no matter what the points on the board are. So, especially towards the end of that first half, I think they did just seem to switch. I don't know sort of what it was. Not saying that they, of course, were lacking in the first sort of portion of it, but definitely were on for that try, which is such a shame for them.
You're right, it was like a switch was thrown, and the T-Birds of old came together, and it looked like they were fighting to the end there. But Richmond have shown their mettle today. They are a tough team, and I believe they're top of the league at the moment.
Yes, I believe they are. They've had quite a good season this season, Richmond. Not that they particularly have bad ones previously, but it does tend to be top of the table clashes, OAs and Thurrock. But this year, Richmond have just absolutely bulldozed anyone that's come across their path. But today could change that. But of course, we're not biased. But I do think partially these team huddles are more for warmth than anything. Although it's good to see the far side of the pitch does seem to have defrosted quite a bit.
The temperature did feel like it was dropping, but it seems to have warmed up again.
Yes, even the first team pitch seems to be melting a little.
Right, should we take a quick break, Gebs?
Yes, I think so. I'd like to warm up a little bit, but no doubt the second we go inside, they're going to get ready to kick off again. But we will see you in the second half.
So I said, you're doing that.
Hello and to the second half of Thurrock versus Richmond. And, at the moment, the score is 14-0 to Richmond. And it seems what I said in the at the end of the first half is true. That cloud has come over quite nicely for Thurrock. So I should hopefully be able to actually tell you who's doing what now.
I might be able to get something on camera.
Yes, we do apologise if the quality was a little poor.
So Thurrock made any changes, Gabs, that you can see?
Not that I can see for the moment. Looks like both teams have remained relatively the same.
Still see Kira, Elsie and Devon on the touchline, so they've not come on. So Richmond's the restarters.
So this time it will be Richmond to kick us off, and I believe that is Emma Mundy. And once again Richmond are starting with 13 players against a Thurrock 15. And we're taking her time for the kick, but it is a lovely kick nevertheless, to the hands of Amy Battle. Runs straight into the arms of Rebecca Kemble. Jade Wong ships it out to Maddie Lockwood, this time being taken down by Gabby Spencer. Ball goes to Ella Barnes, who ships it out to Rosie Bennett. Takes two of Richmond to not even be able to get her down quite yet. So the ball goes out to Ella Barnes, who manages to ship the ball to, I can't see who's on the floor there. I think that could be Frenchie. Ball gets shipped out to Izzy Lush, which ships it out to Jess Pettifor, who is dragged to the floor, refusing to go down in that tackle. Thurrock once again drive through the middle of the pack of Richmond players. Although I think Thurrock need to utilise this space that they've got with the overlap for two players. Richmond winger moving quickly to try and plug that gap. And, the referee has given the penalty to Thurrock. Is that same Richmond player that has tried to bulldoze through the middle of the pack again? I don't think she's quite understood that it didn't work the first time and you got a penalty for it. So not quite sure why she's tried again.
Sorry.
So it looks like Jade Wong's
Jade as well
got picked up an injury in that. I think that could have potentially have been from Jordan Hale's bit of a late addition to the ruck. Jade's up, testing it out. I think it was her knee, but she's up and running once again. And they're ready to continue play. So yes, it is a penalty for Richmond going straight off their feet in the ruck. Lovely kick from Ella, but I don't think it quite went to the distance that she was hoping. Number 15, Courtney Treco, runs it in, passes it to Gabby Spencer. Lauren Paul goes for the tackle, and I think it's completed there. Richmond ships it out blind. They come back inside. There's a bit of a fumble. The ball did go backwards, but there's a lovely tackle from Frenchie. They come out wide once again. It's a lovely combination of Amy Battle and Maddie Lockwood. And the referee has given the penalty to Thurrock for being held and getting up again in a tackle. Lovely offload to Hannah Thornhill, runs back inside. Tackled to the ground by Rebecca Kemble. Oh, not quite. Eventually finished off by Tyler Shirley. Lovely kick once again from Ella Barnes. Ball goes to number 15, Courtney Treco. sees a gap down the other side, but it's stopped dead by Izzy Lush. Richmond runs into their own player, and it ends up being crossing. So once again, Thurrock have ended up with the penalty. I think this is once again from a bit of panic from Richmond. I think they're really feeling the absence of those two players.
Looks like Kaylee's down, Gabs. I think you're right, they are. The pressure's building. They're making mistakes which they didn't do in the first half of the first half.
Yes, I think Richmond's slightly unravelling now, and I think Thurrock are circling like vultures and seeing the weaknesses and making the most of them while they can, although that has seemed to have resulted in a potential injury of Kaylee McHugh.
I think Kaylee is carrying a little bit of a niggle, but hopefully Gemma will work her magic and she'll be up and off again.
Seems to be up on her feet. Kaylee's back up and ready.
Andy Yarrow there, sporting the latest in fashion items.
Yes, he's nicked that high vis off of one of the players. I think he was a bit cold. So I believe this is the first scrum of the half.
I think it is.
Richmond attempting to drive. You can hear their chant saying to drive, and it's just not going anywhere. There's a slight fumble from Thurrock, but Ella Barnes is quick to pick it up, and they've seen it as a knock-on. It's a shame for Thurrock, and Richmond are rolling in that as a small victory. This time a Richmond scrum, and neither side are moving. Ball's taken by number 9 for Richmond. They've seen a gap. Gap's been stopped by Thurrock, and the referee has seen, I think that was in at the side, I think, for Richmond. So Jade Wong attempts to take it quickly, but the referee unfortunately does bring it back. Lovely kick from Ella Barnes, puts them back in the Richmond half once again. We've lost that ball too.
Yeah, I think probably 7.
It's a Thurrock line out. Amy Battle goes up. The ball goes to Richmond instead. Lovely duo of Jade Wong and Kaylee McHugh. Richmond go to ship it. Amy Battle's very quick on that ball and has won the penalty, awarding Thurrock with the turnover, and Richmond are not letting go of the ball.
What's going on, sir?
So not very good sportsmanship from Kira Leet there. Lovely kick from Ella Barnes. Very far down the pitch, gaining Thurrock a number of metres and awarding them with the line out. And looks like we've had a change of match ball, as the original one that was being used seems to have had a tear to it at some point in the game. Ball going once again to Frenchie in the front. Richmond attempt to turn over the ball and managed to keep hold of it. Lauren Paul runs it into contact. And who was that? That was... Oh, can't quite see the number there. She was just hanging on to that ball. That might have been Caitlin Keefe again. Kaylee McHugh does well to hold on to the ball in the contact. Lovely dummy from Amy Battle. The ball gets to Hannah Thornhill, who offloads to Abby Jones, gets a good few metres in as well. Gets back to Hannah Thornhill. She goes to kick it. And I'm not quite sure what the referee said about that. He's not awarded an advantage. Ball gets thrown back to, I think that's Courtney Treco, or actually that could be Emma Mundy. But Abby Jones takes the ball, runs it straight back at Richmond once again. And the referee has seen yet another high tackle from Richmond. I think Richmond are asking for another yellow card at this point. I think they've only got 5 minutes or so on the other two. So see how well they do at 12.
Crowd not happy either, Gabs. Can hear cries from the coaches and cries from the stands of high tackle here and high tackle there.
I don't quite blame them. Looks like the first yellow card is back on the pitch. And they've made a switch out. So can't quite see who's come on and who's coming off. Looks like they've called for both the yellow cards to come back on, even though there was a few minutes between them, so not quite sure how that works out.
Unless that's a substitution, because that's the 24.
I don't think so. Don't quite know what's going on here at the minute. Referee seems to be allowing it. Time's back on. Thurrock go for the simple line out, but it still goes to Richmond hands. Gabby Spencer going to run it in, but instead passes out to Kira Leet. Ball goes back once again to Emma Mundy, who kicks downfield. Goes to the hands of Jess Pettifor, who runs it straight back at Richmond. She's diving and jinking. The ball goes wild. The advantage is given to Richmond for the knock-on. There was a knock-on there, but the referee's not called it. But now he has. Hannah going to the final second, making sure that she wasn't going to allow Randazzo.
Sounds a bit Italian to me.
Sure. Either way, Hannah wasn't allowing her through. But the referee is calling it back for the initial knock-on by Thurrock, so it's going to be a Richmond ball.
Let's go, teams! Big push!
Not quite sure what's taking so long here.
Yeah, it seems to be slowing the momentum down. T-Birds certainly have Richmond under far more pressure than they did in the first half.
Although I think Richmond have coped quite well with being 2 players down.
That's true.
And, I think that's quite the accolade. Although they found a gap, they jinked around it. That is number 15, Courtney Treco, but Ella Barnes has brought her to the ground nevertheless. And, lovely tackle from Amy Battle. Very high pass, bit of a confusion. Richmond are quick to try and clear it up. There's an attempt at a backhand pass. It did look like it went just flat.
Good option, Hannah.
And Maddie Lockwood dives on the ball, manages to maintain possession of it. Lauren Paul running it into contact this time. Jade Wong gets it to Jess Grace, a lovely offload to Amy Battle, but Richmond unfortunately weren't fooled. So it looks like Jade Wong's stuck in the muck, I guess. So for now, Thurrock seem to be driving it through. Ball gets out to Ella Barnes. She manages to keep hold of it. Ball goes out to Amy Battle. She clears it up quite nicely. She looks for support. She runs into another Richmond player, which once again was a bit high. The referee has seen it, which I do agree with the spectators. How many more is needed for yet another yellow card? This is getting a bit ridiculous and very unsafe. But the ball gets out to Jess Petchford. Nevertheless, she finally gets to kick her heels up. She dummies around it. She goes for the head once again. Richmond are getting a bit unbelievable with these high tackles now. Ball goes wild once again, but Kaylee McHugh does well to pick it up. Richmond are no match for her driving through that. Ball gets to Ella Barnes once again, gives it to Lauren Paul, who just gets swung around, passes it back to Ella Barnes. Lovely little chip kick through from Ella. Hannah Thornhill's on the case. Hannah's got the ball, Abby's got the ball. And the referee isn't happy with the steal by Abby Jones. I think he said she needs to be on her feet, which is unfortunate. That was quite the good turnover. So it seems to be an injury to Rosie Bennett and also to a Richmond player. It looks like the Richmond players potentially had a knock to the eye. And Rosie looks like it's her leg. Hannah seems unhappy with something.
Maybe the number of high tackles, Gabs.
I would hope so, because these are getting a bit unbelievable now. So Rosie Bennett comes off, and that will be...
What's going on?
It'll be Sophia Carrillo coming onto the pitch in replacement. Kaylee being the communicator between the ref, teammates and coaches. Time's back on. Emma Mundy kicks off. The lovely kick downfield, nearly hitting a number of spectators. But that kick does put Richmond back into the Thurrock half. Personally, I think this half has been better than the first. I think it's been a lot more intense, which is always good to see.
Good solid rugby.
Just misses the fingertips of Frenchie, but there is a knock on by Richmond, and Thurrock will happily take that penalty, even though Amy Battle had the ball anyway.
Phelps is back on.
This is Claire Phelps coming onto the pitch for replacement of Jess Grace.
Big scrum, let's go! Play!
Nope. So this will be a Thurrock scrum.
Crouch. Bind.
To Richmond, Zainab Alma wasn't in the scrum properly.
Frenchie looking so intense, Gabs.
It's a concentrating face. Thurrock having an excellent scrum there with the change of Phelps and Sophia. A lovely bit of play from the backs of Thurrock. Hannah Thornhill finally gets to kick her legs up and the referee's somehow down. Jess Pettifor runs through the pack.
Did the ref fall over his own feet? I didn't see that.
I believe so. That was an excellent bit of play from the ball going from Amy Battle to Maddie Lockwood. Sophia Carrillo running into the pack. Richmond taking their time to get back on side. A bit of a fumble of the ball, but Amy Battle picks it up. Sophia straight over the top of her. The referee has paused the game. I believe this one is a head injury for Richmond. Can't quite see the number, unfortunately. I think that could potentially be number 6, which would be Caitlin Keefe. That's not 8 because 8's Gabby Spencer.
So Thurrock coming out with the same intent as they went in at the half time. They're pushing hard, they're keeping Richmond in their own half for most of the time now, Gab, so it's good to see, but they need to get some results from this.
Yes, definitely. I'm just wondering if that's actually Kira Leet. These numbers are absolutely terrible for me to be able to see. But no, Thurrock are well on their way to that first try for the game. And,
6.
It's number 6. So yes, I was initially correct. That is Caitlin Keefe, unfortunately. And that's both teams' physios on there. She looks to be in the recovery position. And that is a head injury as Gemma Pemberton is holding her head straight. Oh, and only for their own physio to then kick her in the back.
And she's both of them.
I believe we've got just over 20 minutes of the game left. But it's good to see that Caitlin Keefe's up. Well, she's sitting up at least. I think there might be a bit of blood on the tissues on the far side. Next to the back.
You've got good eyesight, Gabby.
Well, it's a white bit of paper with a lot of red on it, so I don't think it's quite easy to miss.
It looks orange.
I could potentially be wrong, and I'm hoping I am wrong. But
Might be. We should be down here.
Yes, I think it is a nosebleed, potentially broken. Got 3 physios over there.
Yep.
I remember games, especially in the under 18s, where we couldn't even get one. It's excellent to see. Hoping it's a nosebleed, no knocked out teeth. That'd be the worst.
This is where issues happen though, Gabs. It's a cold day. The longer they stand still, the more chance people have got of damaging muscles and ligaments because they've just cooled down.
Yes, and it can, well, with these pauses in play, it can be hard to get back into the mindset of the game as well, if it is a little bit too long.
I feel like the temperature's dropping again now that we've got the cloud cover and the sun's gone in.
Especially when there's over 20 minutes left of play. Of course, every delay we're getting here is also delaying the later football game.
Bye. I did do a funny step. One step.
She's up.
Well, it's good to see she's standing on her feet at least.
As opposed to standing on her hands?
Yes, standing at all, thank you very much. And that does look like quite the severe nosebleed, unfortunately, and she's being held up by her physio, so it could have also been a slight concussion as well. But
She's leaving the field, Gabs.
yes, of course, we wish her all the best with her recovery. Hopefully it isn't a broken nose and it is just a nasty knock, and wish her all the best. Of course, this does mean the game is starting back up again. And this will be a Thurrock scrum. I don't quite remember where we left off this game now.
We need to make an impact now.
Jacko! Jacko! Jacko!
And Richmond once again are driving straight up again. And, don't quite know why they're clapping for that, as it's them that's got the problem that the ref is now clearing up.
Looks like it's hurt. Is that Thurrock number 2?
I think that is Lauren Paul. Oh no, it's Lauren Paul in front of her. I think that's Cherie Cooper. So once again, Richmond are just playing
I
dangerously.
think that's where they're stretching her up and she's stretching her neck.
More than likely so, because if they're driving upwards, her neck's then being bent downwards. If they're then pushing forwards after that, then her neck is basically being snapped back towards her chest. Which anyone that's played rugby knows that is quite the painful
Quite uncomfortable.
way to end
to
up
say
with
the
an
least,
injury.
yeah.
It's good to see that the referee is having a conversation with the forward pack of Richmond.
Once again though, it does nothing for the flow of the game.
Plays back on. Looks like Cherie's managed to stay on the pitch. So we'll reset the scrum. Ball goes in. This time Richmond are driving straight. That is what a scrum is meant to look like. And once again another high tackle, this time Tyler Shirley. Abby Jones manages to offload to Hannah Thornhill, who evades a tackle. Lovely chip kick out, just into touch. So this will be a Richmond line out. Although the referee seems to be looking in his book. Richmond goes with a simple line out and a bit of confusion as number 15 just knocks her face on the referee's shoulder. Lovely tackle from Thurrock, although that does seem to be an injury to Amy Battle. Looks like her shoulder. That looks quite painful. The ball's kicked downfield, goes to the hands of Abby Jones, who has a very passive tackle from Richmond. And Jade manages to get a falling pass to Lauren Paul. Lauren manages to maintain possession of the ball. Kaylee McHugh dives on it, and she's got her in a neck roll. The referee's seen it and has called for the offside. And then Richmond not rolling away. That is about 3 infringements in one, all on Kaylee McHugh. And the referee has seen the injury to Amy Battle and has paused the game for now.
Right, who's going on for Amy?
It also looks like Amy's had a knock to the mouth, a bit of blood. Wonder how that happened with these high tackles. Amy's managed to get back up on her feet, testing out the shoulder. Ella Barnes with the ball ready for the kick. And a lovely kick it is, very high ball. And that puts Thurrock back into the Richmond half. Ball goes straight up and goes to Frenchie.
Just keep going.
Not sure what's gone on there, but Thurrock end up with the ball either way. Ball goes out to Hannah Thornhill, who finds the gap, runs through the gap, and absolutely drives through the contact. Excellent run from Hannah. Ball goes out to Ella Barnes, and unfortunately that is a knock-on. Ball just went to her feet, sadly.
No, beautiful run. Good field position. Just got to string it in.
I think the cold is starting to get to everybody's hands now, which is annoying in a game of rugby. Do you kind of need those?
Just a bit.
Well, it's actually quite funny that it's colder now than it was in the first half, yet the first half we saw a lot more kicking. Referee once again isn't happy with the scrum. Personally, I would have seen that as feeding from their number 9 since it went straight to their feet. The referee has seen the infringement, has awarded the knock on to Thurrock, which is just a spur on I think they need. So this time it's turned over to a Thurrock scrum.
Is Lionel here today, Gabs?
I believe so. I think I've seen him.
It's normally his chant.
Jade Wong gets the ball out to Ella Barnes, who passes out to Jess Pettifor, who drives through the contact. The ball gets lost. But it wasn't a knock on, it was just ripped out of Jess's hands. Thurrock managed to dive on it. Sorry, Richmond managed to dive on it. However, the referee has seen something that he's not happy with Richmond. Jade Wong runs through the contact. Richmond attempt to turn it over and are brutally stopped by Sophia. And once again, it is round the neck of Amy Battle. Gabby goes for the turnover and is told to get off. Richmond is absolutely on fire with their tackles, but Thurrock are inching ever closer. Abby Jones has seen an opportunity and has moved round to the far side. Ella Barnes has seen a different opportunity and has cut back inside. And once again, another high hit from Richmond. Thurrock are just inching closer and closer. Amy Battle goes for the run herself. Richmond are trapped underneath her. The ball is out and ready to be played. Thurrock are just absolutely smelling that try line now. And they've got the advantage, not sure what for, but the referee has... The referee has awarded the first try of Thurrock for the game. That was absolutely phenomenal. I think that may have potentially been Claire Phelps. It's absolutely brilliant from Thurrock, just pure determination. Richmond put up an excellent fight in defence for that, but I think Thurrock, that is a very, very well-deserved try. They're just absolutely knocking on that door. That was just brilliant. Sorry, of course, not to be biased.
Game on.
But I think that is well-deserved from Thurrock. That was so well seen. And Iona McCusker, sorry, you still haven't told me how to say your name. Iona.
I think that's right.
So she's just come onto the pitch. Emma West has come off the pitch. Have there been any other changes? I don't believe so. Looks like everybody else has stayed the same for now.
I don't know if you can see that on the screen, it's gone quite dark.
Give it a wiggle.
I think that's because I'm pointing towards the sun. Let's just concentrate on the posts.
This will be Ella Barnes for the conversion. Lots of pressure on this conversion. But she doesn't let it deter her at all when she gets the extra 2 points. And that brings it up to 7 to Thurrock and 14 to Richmond. Forgot who was playing for a second there.
Oh, 0 again. It was 0-0-0-0-0-7.
So this time, once again this half, this will be Richmond to kick us off. Ball goes up and left to the hands of Amy Battle. Good to see that shoulder hasn't caused her too many issues, although that was a no arms and late tackle from Richmond. Lauren Paul takes it into contact next. Claire Phelps does a lovely dummy and ends up actually passing to Cherie Cooper.
Come on!
Richmond have managed to turn over the ball. And, wildly confused from Richmond. I think that was a bit of a panic. Iona moves to get there, but Abby Jones gets there first, passes it back to her. The kick is blocked by Richmond and ends up straight back in the hands of Emma Mundy. And, looks like Richmond are doing very well under pressure now, pushing Thurrock closer and closer to their own try line. Ball gets passed out. Sophia bringing Richmond to the ground.
Advantage Richmond.
Richmond have got the advantage, not quite sure what for. Ball's passed back inside by Richmond. She just runs inside the gap. Iona brings her to the ground, but there's a lovely offload. Izzy Lush with the next tackle, Hannah Thornhill with the next. Richmond are so close to the try line here. They seem to have woken up once again for this half. This time it's Claire Phelps bringing Richmond to the ground. She's unable to roll. Thurrock doing well to get underneath the ball. Richmond are celebrating, and that is the next try of the game to Richmond. So that brings the score up to 19-7 to Richmond, sorry.
Pick it up!
And,
But that's just the lapse time.
I think we've probably got around another 5 or so minutes, potentially longer with the stoppage time for the injuries.
Depends on the ref, doesn't it? They don't always play the exact amount, but we seem to have had a lot of stoppage time. I would hazard a guess at about another 5 minutes.
Probably going to be another 2 with the time that Richmond are taking to take these conversions recently. So that is a rendition of the Running Man. Thurrock very quick to chase it down, but it doesn't make a difference. That is the extra 2 points that Emma Mundy has earned for her team. So that does bring it up to, I believe, 21-7 to Richmond.
Come on, team, do this!
Ella Barnes to kick us off again. And a lovely kick it is, teasing both teams with the 10-metre line. But Richmond are victorious with getting to the ball first. Richmond kick back downfield, this time to the hands of Iona, who passes to the hands of Jade Wong, who kicks it back once again. Gets her team back on side. Richmond passes out wide, Frenchie tracking where the ball's going. Richmond attempts to jink round, but Jess Pettifor's not convinced, and a lovely tackle from, I think that was Jess Pettifor and Abby Jones. Although a lovely run through once again from Richmond. Pass out wide. There's a lovely missed pass from Richmond, but Izzy Lush brings her to the ground. Gabby Spencer offloads over her head. So Amy Battle is not letting that one go at all. Thurrock have got their hands on it. I believe that's Maddie Lockwood. And the referee has awarded Thurrock with the penalty for Maddie Lockwood's efforts, which is excellent to see. And once again, Richmond are going straight off their feet over the ball. I think the referee's told them enough times not to do that. Lovely kick once again from Ella Barnes, puts them well back into the Richmond half. Now we've got Elsie Burns coming on for Maddie for Amy Battle, and Kira Ryan coming on for Izzy Lush. Both of them having an absolutely excellent game today.
No pun intended, but Amy Battle was well in the wars today, Gabs.
Yes, definitely, and I'm hoping that shoulder keeps up. Gabby Spencer has turned over the ball even though she came in at the side, and the referee has awarded Thurrock with the penalty. And that was for a knock-on. Not quite sure where the knock-on was, but I'll take it nevertheless. She's missing down the way. And, once again, Richmond not driving straight, but the ball's out nevertheless, so Thurrock do well to get it out. Lovely pass from Kira Ryan to Hannah Thornhill. Just goes over the head of Iona, but still finds the hands of Abby Jones. Richmond attempting to drive her into touch, but I think they're a few metres too short. 5 to be precise. Elsie Burns runs it into contact once again. Ball's passed out to Ella Barnes. She jinks it through, manages to evade the contact of about 5 players. Lovely offload to Claire Phelps, who fends off yet another contact. Finds the ground. Jade Wong goes back inside. Ball misses Elsie Burns and goes to, can't see who that is, I think that's Frenchie. Frenchie does well to drive off the ruck. But Richmond are a bit quicker at getting the ball out. The referee's seen a knock on by Richmond, so the ball is back in Thurrock hands.
Let's go, Richmond!
We're once again setting up for a Thurrock scrum. Richmond's near side just seems to be pushing a little bit harder than the far side. Referee's been very showing with that display of what the penalty was for.
Showing.
It's quite a long display. The referee once again seems to be having a word with the Richmond side. Ball's in once again. Looks like Richmond have listened, although this near side is dragging Thurrock to the floor. But the ball's out nevertheless, so Jade goes blind, passes it out to Elsie Burns, who's quick out the scrum, who jinks back inside. It's taken to ground eventually by Richmond. Jade goes far, but the ball goes to the floor. Cherie Cooper's quick to dive on it. And, looks like Richmond have just pushed Kaylee McHugh over. The referee has given the advantage because Richmond are once again off their feet in the ruck. And he's given another advantage by the looks of it. Ball just seems to have hit the butt of one of the players. I think that might have been Cherie. The referee has brought it back for the earlier infringement, which was the off the feet by Richmond. Lovely kick by Ella Barnes, and brings them ever closer to the Richmond try line.
Devon's coming on.
Looks like we've got Devon Johnson coming onto the pitch in replacement of Abby Jones, who has also had an excellent game today. We must be in the final minutes now of this game. But Frenchie ends up victorious with the ball, and can't see who that was that has actually taken it into contact. But the ball's passed out to Lauren Paul, who runs in, and there's a lovely tackle from Gabby Spencer. You can see why she's captain. Lovely kick from Ella Barnes. And a tackle from the Thurrock captain this time with the help of Iona. Lovely tackle from Kira Ryan, coming back from her shoulder injury. She's doing quite well. A kick downfield from Richmond once again, but that hasn't gone where she wanted it to. But the referee has called it for a high tackle on Richmond. Richmond prepare for their kick. Oh, and I think that's hit the outside of her boot, and don't think that's quite where they wanted it to be.
Gentlemen, can we have a meter of space, please? Everybody, back. Thank you very much.
And we've not got long left of the game. Straight to the hands of Richmond, thrown out to the backs. Oh, and I think that pass was a little bit too far forward for the fingertips of Richmond. But they've cleared it up quite nicely. They've got it straight out wide once again. Ducking and diving between Thurrock, but Sophia is not convinced. Hits her anyway. Once again, Richmond are straight off their feet, but as it wasn't contested by Thurrock, they've allowed it. And the referee has seen the infringement as Richmond were not letting go of the ball in the contact. This time Claire Phelps takes it in. The ball is passed out wide, and this looks like it could be another try for Thurrock.
Try again.
And a lovely try from Thurrock. It's a very unselfish pass of Kira Ryan straight to the hands of Jess Pettifor, who manages to secure the extra 5 points to Thurrock. I don't think Richmond quite saw what was happening right in front of them there. That was absolutely phenomenal from Thurrock. Very well taken ball from Claire Phelps, and just a lovely offload out of the tackle. And Richmond just weren't quite quick enough to keep up, although that was a high tackle once again on, I think that might have been either Kira Ryan or Jess Pettifor. Either way, does not matter. The 5 points have been secured for Thurrock, and we'll see if Ella Barnes is able to secure another 2.
It's a long kick, Gabs.
It's a long kick, but it is for a right-footed kicker. It's a better side to be on, but I don't think time is quite with us.
The elapsed time is 54 minutes, so this may well be the last kick of the game. It's a shame.
Although Thurrock are still setting up, nevertheless.
Thurrock coming back strong.
It's a lovely kick from Ella, but unfortunately just falls short of the post. And that is the end of the game. What a way for Thurrock to finish. I hope they were quite happy with that end.
Sorry. Get off the pitch. Are you kidding me?
She's well booked today. The footballers are running straight on.
Looks like the footballers wait for the rugby to finish out of a bit of respect. So they've just run straight on, getting the pitch ready. But yeah, so that does mean the end of the game is left at 12:21 to Richmond. And I believe that was a similar score last week for the twos. But see you later. But what a phenomenal game between the two teams. That was absolutely excellent. And yeah, what a phenomenal match.
Yeah, tough game from both sides. Thurrock coming strong towards the end there, or from the second half. Just couldn't make those results count. They couldn't get the ball down behind the try line. It's a shame, but no one should be ashamed of that game. It was very well contested.
Yes, I think both teams knew this was going to be a difficult game. But what an excellent showing. Do the men's team have a game next week?
Yeah, I believe they're away to Old Regations next week. You're in Egypt, and I don't think the T-Birds have a game.
We'll just do a quick double check of that, just to make sure we're not telling any fibs.
Fibs?
Yes, so doesn't look like Thurrock T-Birds have a game next week. They've got a very well-deserved rest after that game. So we will see you on Saturday for the men's team.
Thanks very much, and goodbye.
Right.